questions for Richard.
Well, Richard, obviously you played a big role last year. What are you kind of looking for this year as far as that? You've been trying to improve some things, or what are you looking at?
This year I'm just working on getting bigger in size and just focusing on getting better as a team in whole, and just working on the little things that matter.
But what do you think of this group of running backs?
We're gonna be pretty good. I mean, I'm the smallest, but it is what it is, and I feel like we're gonna have a good outcome.
Richard, you look like you've put on quite a bit of muscle in the off season. How's the off season been, and how much of a difference have you noticed?
It's been good. It made a big difference. Like, I was in the weight room. They made me eat more than I usually eat, and I believed in them, so I just stuck with the process, and it came out good.
Coach, how's Coach Steward so far for you guys?
He a good coach. He teaching us like the little things that matter in the plays, and we just listening to him, and he getting us better by each day.
Richard, when you look at how last year went, how it finished, what do you think went wrong toward the end of the season?
I feel like we weren't together as a team. Like, it was a team thing, and I feel like you should always play as a team. So I felt like that's what the problem was.
You feel like you guys have quite a bit of versatility in the backfield?
Yes, sir. We do. We really do. We're going to be pretty good this year with it.
What do you see from these two guys?
From Dominique and Quaylen, I see they going to be pretty good, and they got the size, obviously, and we going to be good. And they going to be good at running the ball and getting vertical and getting downhill.
What about specifically Dom? I mean, just being a new guy, what have you kind of seen from him?
I see that he knows what he's doing. I mean, he don't take no reps off. When he get in and he get a chance to show the coach what he got, he do it.
When you burst onto the scene like you did last year, what's the next step for you on the field?
The next step is just to get better than last year and just be better.
Richard, how much of a toll was that on you, just as a true freshman, to come in and get all the carries that you got? Did you feel yourself kind of wearing down, and what did you learn through that?
I just learned that, I mean, no matter what happens, I just got to keep pushing. I mean, I didn't know that I was going to come in like as a freshman and start like that. But in my head, I'm like, I'm here, so I'm going to just do it and stick with it, because it's something that I love since I was little.
Coach also said you're kind of an active musician sometimes around with the team. I mean, is that something you kind of like to embrace?
Yes, I grew up in the church since I was little, so I grew up in the church playing the guitar. I got two older brothers, they twins, and we all played in the church, like me and my dad and my brothers, and we all played instruments.
So Dominique, what made you decide to transfer here?
Just the environment, man, and just the spread of love, the coaches and the players. I just felt like this was a great place, and great fit for me. Just being a Christian school as well, I'm a big Christian, and I just feel like the offense is like my play style. It's the biggest thing.
But what do you like about this offense, just your role in it?
Wide zone, I love wide zone. So I think that just fit my play style, especially with Coach Steward being the run back coach. He teaches us every detail of the game, like getting downhill with one cut, getting vertical, rubbing off your defenders, and just making that right, mindset as a running back. So I just love everything about the O-line, how they like race up to their defenders instead of just sitting back, and just kind of, it gives the running back more room to read, so that's what I like about it.
What's allowed you to embrace coming into a situation where you're part of a running back group that already has plenty of starts underneath it? Because I figure you could probably go somewhere if you wanted to in the bell cow back.
Yes, sir. I just feel like I love competition. I love competing against the best. So knowing Richard Reese was here and he had a big season last season, I know I have to come here and compete and also be a teammate and also learn from him, because he got a lot of skills I don't have as well, like the speed and all that. I feel like he's really elite with his speed and vision and all that great stuff. So like just learning from him as a young running back and being an older running back and setting examples for the younger running backs and the older running backs as well. So like I just felt like I was ready to compete.
What's your role in the room? You're coming in as a new guy, but you're an older guy.
My role is pretty much like, being a leader, knowing what I'm supposed to do on and off the field for the younger backs and even the older backs. I have to know what I'm talking about, not only like offense, also the defense. So like it'd be easy for me on the field. So I think that's the main step for me.
How do you become a leader in a new place, new environment, that kind of thing? Is that hard, or did it kind of come easy for you?
It's pretty easy. I know a lot coming from OSU, and I'm pretty laid back. I'm a shy guy pretty much, but like I feel like I can step up and talk football if needed. And I feel like I grow a relationship with my teammates and also my coach. So like it make me easier to be a leader.
Being that you've already played in the Big 12, is this the level of competition you're excited to play in?
Oh yes, sir. I am. It's really competitive, so I know I have to come here and set my goals and just attack it every day.
Don, I'm not sure how much you knew about Dave Aranda before, but what's kind of been your impression seeing how he operates and how the program operates around him?
He's a great coach. He's just very laid back and chill. Coming from like a setting from like OSU, it's very different, which I like. He's also like knows what he's like. He knows like our standards need to be high. He doesn't like lack of words of like you should like just chill out. It's okay. He's gonna be on our butts about things, but like just in a chill way. So that's very different for me, but I really enjoy it.
One thing that he kind of was preached ever since he got here is a person over player. I know a lot of players value that part of it. For you,
Yes, sir.
what has that been like to have that kind of motto and that frame of mind from the head coach?
It's a very great model. I mean, I feel like it should be person over player. I mean, he always checking up on us. Like, we have a relationship with Coach Aranda. He's not like a coach that's not gonna sit back and not talk to us. So that's a big thing for us. So like, when we feel that energy, we want to like, play better because he cares about us, and like we want to just like, build that relationship and just, just play good for him.
Is there more drastic change in terms of volume from a coach, from going from like Gundy to Dave Aranda?
Oh yeah, like I said, it's a big difference for sure. Coach Gundy's old school, so like he's gonna put his foot down and yell at you, no matter what happens. But Coach Aranda, he's kind of chill about it, but he gets his point across. When he's upset, he gets his point across. He tells you like you need to do better at this, and you need to set the tone on and off the field, even in the classroom. Not even in the class, even in the classroom, off the field, and on the field. So he does a great job with that.
You feel like you've already learned a lot from seeing that leadership style?
Yes, ma'am, for sure. I learned a lot. It's very different. Like I enjoy it. I mean, I take it to heart. I feel like the coaches care about us, but they also, not saying things are easy for us, and we still need to be on top of our stuff,
Well, what do you feel like each of you guys bring to the backfield, just kind of specifically?
Each of us, we bring energy. We want to like, if anybody's on the field, like make a bad play or whatever, you want to lift them up, keep them, like energized throughout the game, because we don't really want them like, being down and stuff like that. So we just, we're gonna bring energy. We're gonna lift people up on the field, and we're gonna grind together.
Do you feel like you guys each have a certain style though, or different style, or bring something different?
I mean, we all I feel like we all had the same style, whenever we get the ball, it's going to be vertical, it's going to be downhill, and, we're going to keep, ahead of the chains and, just keep it going.
How would you describe Coach Steward as someone who's never met him?
He's a great guy. When we be in meetings, he give us drills to translate on the field. Everything, like he talk about the small things. The small things matter. So that's what he really like coaching us on. Because if we get the small things down, it's gonna be easier for us when we get in the game. It's just gonna be good memory.
And then, what was it? Because I think you kind of made the decision to come back. Was there anything specific that you wanted to do coming back like that?
I just feel like, it's a good organization. I wanted to come back. I have something else to prove, and that's about it.
Do you feel like you kind of found a rhythm last year, or sort of found your role within the team? It just seemed like you were more of a contributor, and you just had a bit more confidence about you?
Yeah, I feel like I had a good contributor to the team. They needed me in big times, like in pass pro. They counted on me, and I, went in on pass pro, executed. I had got like a few runs here and there, and I made the most of it. So that's what it is.
Well, what are you seeing from the O-line? You got some new guys trying to start?
For our O-line, yeah, they're doing good right now. It's just, just a couple days in for spring, so, they got a lot more work to do. But I see each one of them, like, grinding. They willing to work. They not giving up, and they ready to grind.
Richard had a big year last year, obviously. Have you seen him maybe take some strides here early in the spring and get better?
Yeah, just like you said, him, gaining weight. I know y'all see that. Yeah, he's been, working. He's been working. He's been willing to learn. He's been, getting downhill, putting his shoulder down, and it's been good stuff coming from him.
Well, you've been around for a while now. Richard talked about how towards the end of the year, it wasn't as much of a team or what have you. Dave Aranda's talked about it. What did you see from your point of view? You've seen the highs, you've seen the lows. What was kind of the story last year?
I really felt like, it was kind of like individual playing, not really like as a team. So, like as a team, you want to get your guys to play together, because once everybody play together, you can count on each person, and, you'll get a win.
Do you feel like that's changed, or was there some, a little bit of carryover that you guys had to work through?
I feel like we have worked on it, and I feel like I have seen a big change in it. That's why I was back to where I was saying earlier, like, people down, we lifted everybody up. It's just like a big change that I see. That everybody's working together. Everybody's trying to help each other out on the field if they don't know what they're doing. They telling them, and everybody just work together and grinding together.
You say that. Richard said that toward the end of the season, it seemed like it was a team issue that led to that 4-game losing streak. Is that the biggest difference in the running back room this year?
Not really. It's just, just really everybody just, together. So, this is what that is.
Have you seen or heard Blake be more vocal this year? I think that was one of the things he needed to work on, vocal leadership, that kind of thing.
Yes, I have. He has stepped up. He has been, talking more, trying to get energy. When we go on the field, he's saying, like, let's attack this. If we mess up going full speed, and he just, bringing all the brothers together.
What about for you? Do you feel like you have to kind of be a leader for this running back group, being an older guy?
Yeah, being an older guy, I feel like I do have to be a leader, because I feel like whatever I do, they're looking up to me. So, like, I got to set an example. Like, when I go on the field, I need to grind, not take no plays off, and just, be that leader for them.
Well, Coach, what do you think of this room of running backs that you got?
I love it. I love these guys. Very coachable. That's what sticks out day one. These guys they want to be coached, number one, and they hold themselves to a high standard. So as a coach, those are things that sometimes you have to teach. That just walking straight into guys who have that standard for themselves, it just speeds up the process, and now I can really coach them on the tangible things on the field, and not the behavioral or mindset type things. And so that's been really encouraging for me in this short amount of time.
Coach, you came from an Oregon State program that took about as big a step forward as any in college football. It seemed to be growing. Why did you want to get the thing on that?
I just think just a great opportunity to come down and have a new challenge. I've always respected, what Coach Aranda's done here, and obviously my past experience with Coach Grimes, and knowing what he stands for from an offensive standpoint. And so I knew it would be a really good fit. How you do anything is how you do everything is been my motto, my personal motto as a coach with my players for years now. And so day one when I walk in and I see a big PowerPoint that says that from Coach Aranda, it was confirmation that this is a great opportunity and a seamless fit, from a cultural standpoint and just a personal philosophy. And so I think it was a great, it was a no-brainer opportunity for me in this next step. And just having the comfort of knowing the guys that are going to be in the building and believing already in what they stood for was a huge part of it.
Do you feel like each of the guys in the running back room bring a little something different?
Absolutely. That was a really encouraging thing as well, multifaceted skill sets, in the room. And so obviously we're always going to try to develop everybody to be an every down type guy, but when you have different, body types, different speeds, guys with different speeds, different strengths, it's always really, encouraging. And so you can have natural roles built for guys and things like that. And while you're in the process of developing the areas in their game that they need to clean up.
When you have a room that already included Quaylen and Richard, who both had really good seasons on the field, then you have Dom, who was a lead rusher at Oklahoma State. How much of it is the excitement of, I can't wait to work with all these guys, and how much of it is, well, I don't know how I'm going to get all these guys on the field?
It's definitely an excitement. I think if you look at, just the previous years of the groups that I've had, there's been multiple guys with their opportunities to have success and have a legitimate role in our success. We've had guys who have been all conference running backs, but then other guys combine for 1,000 yards and, you know, have multiple touchdowns and game-winning plays and things like that. And so, to me, the star of the running back room is the running back room. That's always what I believed in. And, you know, we play a physical position, you know, so I've never gone through a full season where all of my guys in the room stay healthy. We never had any glitches or anything. And so that's the mindset. Everybody has to have a mindset of a starter. Everybody's got to be prepared for their moment, and that's how I coach. We're not really big on the depth charts and things like that. Our sixth guy in our room right now out of 6 needs to be strong enough for us to rely on him if we need be in a real game.
What's your approach as far as familiarizing yourself with a new group and a new roster? Are you somebody that starts watching film on the guys? Do you want a blank slate? How do you look at that?
I think a little bit of both. I don't. You never know exactly how they've been coached or what their developmental process is, and so you want to give everybody a clean slate. But you also want to kind of look and see what their current strengths and their weaknesses are, so you have a plan for them moving forward. You know, so that you don't waste 5 practices trying to figure out what this guy's good at, or, you know, what we really need to hone in on. And so I think it's a little bit of both. Not judging them completely on the past. You know, guys who you know, didn't have a lot of success, or guys that had a lot of success, you know, and assuming that they're going to just fall into that same role. You want to give everybody a chance that haven't played a ton to have an opportunity to work their way up, but also create a sense of urgency in the guys who have had success on the field as well.
Coach, from what you've seen, are you expecting like a running back by committee or a feature back that kind of leads the team out there?
I think it's really too early to know that. How I tell the guys is we're going to play the most talented, reliable players. And so if we have 6 talented, reliable players, then we probably can try to find a way to do that. I've never been around, you know, a team with that, but that's going to be the goal. You know, and if there's 2 guys or 3 guys or 4 guys, we'll make it work. But once again, the starter running back group is the running back group. You know, and so whether there is a depth chart or not, at some point, we still need that last guy to work his way up because we're going to be counting on him.
How excited are you to be working with a guy like Richard, who just had such a great freshman year, and that was just the start of his career?
I think what makes him special is if you just met him on the street, you wouldn't know he was the Big 12 freshman of the year, rushed for 1,000 yards. His work ethic, his humility is unreal, and so it's really encouraging. You know, working with him, it seems like I'm working with a guy who's still trying to prove themselves. You know, and I'm really excited about his future because of that. You know, you know what you're going to get every day, and that goes back to that reliability piece, you know, that I answered in that previous question. So I'm very excited. Obviously, he's talented. You know, he's reliable as far as just what he brings as far as energy and edge every single day. And so I'm just excited to see where we can help him get to. You know, it's still early enough. He's got a high ceiling, and so our job is going to be to try to get him all the way all the way to the top and maximize, you know, his ceiling.
Coming from a smaller school, how much does it help Bryson being here this spring and going through that just to kind of get that transition going?
I think it's tremendous for him. You know, we joked around the first practice. I'm like, hey, why are you standing like that? He's like, Coach, I've only been in a 3-point stance, you know, in my career. And I had to remember that. And so, you know, it was kind of funny, but, you know, it even had to make me kind of go back to build it literally from the ground up with him. And so it's been really good, kind of weed out some of those habits and, you know, teach him some of the baseline principles now, so that when we get to fall camp, now he's on an even playing field, you know, and hopefully by the end of spring he'll be then. But you know, it's a marathon approach with a guy like that coming from, you know, that situation. But the intangibles that he brings coming from the background are incredible, and you can feel that now. Just his work ethic, his toughness, his coachability, you know. So it's definitely a positive having him here early, and also just how he was raised and where he's coming from. You can tell that he's been around good people that have held him to a high standard.
You talked about Richard's work ethic. How have you seen him grow? We've all noticed a difference in how big he is this spring versus last fall. What's that difference been like since the moment you walked on campus for the first time to now?
So I've had a subliminal deal with him. I call him Big Rich now. That's his nickname. Even before he started putting on the weight and the muscle, I said, hey, I'm just gonna call you Big Rich from now on, and I'm gonna speak it into existence. You know, and so obviously that was a big deal with him. You know, adding weight, getting stronger. and putting a little more work in the weight room, having a full off season now. And so he's really stepped into it. And any sheet I give him is Big Rich. It's not Richard Reese anymore. That's his nickname. He's the only one that has a nickname right now. But we were speaking into existence. And I don't think he'll ever be 225 pounds and 6'3", but hopefully we can get him playing like that, on top of his skill set. And so that's what we're doing with him right now, and it's good that you guys can see it because it's been very intentional this offseason.
Coach, if you wouldn't mind on Dom and Quaylen, because they were just both in here, but Quaylen, a great pass blocker last year, run hard, and really seemed to hit his stride towards the end. And Dom, obviously, with all the experience coming in, how do those guys help fill holes, and how do they fit that room, so to speak?
I think they definitely have. I always tell these guys, your difference is what gives you value, and so we want to definitely carve out, hey, Coach, if you're talking the best pass blockers in our room, I want to be number one on a pass blocking depth chart, or I want to be the number one on a route running depth chart, and not just like an overall umbrella term of a depth chart. And so it's really good that those guys have their unique skill sets, that separate them in different ways. And so what we're trying to do right now is just clean up their games in those other areas where they may be, second or third on the depth chart, or fifth or sixth in certain specific areas of playing the running back position. And so that's really the challenge right now. I'm not big on, hey, you're really good at that, so that's just what you do. You're just a one-trick pony, and so we're, just in the process of developing guys, and so that this year you're not just the pass blocker, or you're not just the first down guy or the screen guy. We want to for sure be even a better screen guy or a better pass blocker, but let's not be just a one-trick pony. And so that's really what the spring and this whole offseason leading up to the season will be for both of those guys, and really the whole room.
You had it with Jeff. How much do you like that wide zone? Is that in your comfort zone?
Wide zone is, I wake up, one of the first things I think about, my wife, God, and wide zone. So, wide zone is it's something, and it's not outside zone. That's something Coach Grimes and we made a decision a long time ago. It's wide zone, and that's a story for another day. But really passionate about it. I've probably done 700 coaches clinics on it, talking on the topic. Watched ungodly hours of film on wide zone, and so I'm all in with it, and so that was another reason, just going into a system that I just truly believed in and have a lot of experience with and have had success with, and so yeah, it means a lot to me, and I believe in it for sure.
What's that order?
Sorry, God for sure, number one.
God, better put wife up there.
Yeah, wife's above wide zone, but some days it's close,
Can she tell when you need a wide zone mentality?
No, she can't tell. She can't tell, for sure.
Your impressions of Dave Aranda, just getting, I don't know how much you may have known him before, but just that relationship building and your impressions of him.
Incredible leader, very consistent. I think leadership, that's the biggest thing, is just whenever they show up, you know what to expect. You know what the standard is, clearly defined standards. And that's who he is. Does a great job, very well mapped out. Everybody's on the same page. We're very well organized around here, and I think that's the first step when the players feel that. It always starts from the top. The vision is a trickle-down effect, and if we understand it, then the players will understand it. And I think he just does a great job of not only creating the standard, but like showing us what the standard should look like and allowing us to go out and push it, with the players and doubling down on it daily. And so I'm really excited to learn a lot, from Coach Aranda, and I have already in a short amount of time, and heard great things about him even before I got here, and it's just been confirmed, in just this couple of months that I've been here so far.
I can't remember the last time I saw a football coach walking in high tops. Do you think of yourself as a pretty active position coach?
Well, they help my Achilles a lot. That's why I wear them, but for sure. I try to stay in shape. Don't look at pictures from 12 years ago when I first got into coaching, but I try to stay active. I want to look good for my wife. I don't really have too much other reasons to look good or to work out for anyway, but that's the reason I'm hanging on to right now. So I try to stay active. I try to run around on the field and let the players, I try to hold them to a high standard, and so I'm not as good as I once was, so to speak, but I think the players respect, when I hold them to, hey, let's run from drill to drill. When I can do that with them, and and not just do as I say, but do as I'm doing with you. I think they respond well to that. So I'll try to stick in there as long as I can. It's getting harder and harder every year, though.
seems like whether it's sunny and 80 or cloudy and 55, you rock the shades too. Is that for a little bit of swagger on it?
Well, it's not necessarily about swagger. I honestly started. It started when I went to Oregon State, and it's kind of looks like how it did today every single day. And so I just used to joke around with the players like every day is sunny and 80 degrees for me. I'm gonna wear because it was a mindset thing for me. And then I started wearing it. I wore it at night, like one game where it started daylight and then it got nighttime. And we were like winning at halftime. The coach, you better keep those sunglasses on. And so then I try to put them away for night games, and they're like, no, you wear sunglasses. And so it was kind of multiple reasons why I do it. But it's become a thing now, and I can't shake it. I haven't been able to yet.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.